Here are today's top stories. The House of Representatives approves the proposed 3.75 trillion peso national budget on second reading. Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara assures the DOJ will not be used as a weapon against the opposition. A top European telco company expresses interest to invest in the Philippine market. And the AFP warns against recruitment activities by the New People's Army in colleges and universities. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. The House of Representatives has approved on second reading the proposed 3.75 trillion peso 2019 national budget. The lower house voted on House Bill 8169, or the 2019 General Appropriations Bill, after almost 3 weeks of plenary deliberations. Majority Leader Rolando Andaya Jr. moved for the creation of a small committee to finalize the individual amendments to the proposed national budget. The House targets to approve the budget on third and final reading by October 12 before its scheduled adjournment. House Appropriations Vice Chairperson Maria Carmen Zamora said the budget is the first annual cash-based budget of the Philippine government. She said the cash-based budgeting system promotes better planning and coordination among agencies, raises credibility with suppliers and contractors, addresses underspending, and modernizes the budgeting system. Zamora said the budget is equivalent to 19.3% of the gross domestic product, which is marginally higher compared to the 18.9% in 2018. Local officials who are facing charges might be disqualified from running in the 2019 elections. These include officials suspected of involvement in illegal drugs and other crimes. More on this from Rom Dulfo.
The DILG will seek the disqualification of erring local government officials who will run in next year's midterm elections. Interior OIC Secretary Eduardo Anyo says these include officials since 2016 facing administrative cases, including on the narco list, and those with pending cases investigated by the Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, or CIDG. Anyo adds there is no need for any legislation on the matter because the poll body has the authority to disqualify candidates. The period for the filing of COCs of all candidates in the forthcoming elections will be from October 11 to 17. The campaign period for senatorial bets and party list groups is from February 12 to May 11, 2019, while the campaign period for members of the House of Representatives and regional, provincial, city, and municipal bets will be from March 29 to May 11, 2019. Campaigning is prohibited on the eve of Election Day and Election Day itself. The election period for the May 2019 midterm elections will be from January 13 to June 12. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Rom Dulfo.
The Department of Justice vows that it will not be used as a weapon against the opposition. Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara made the assurance during the Senate hearing on the proposed 2019 budget of the DOJ. This as Opposition Senator Antonio Trillanes IV urged the department not to be used for partisan politics. Trillanes said he believes that the cases filed against him and Senator Laila de Lima are wrong and that the DOJ should have the moral courage to say no if they think that the orders given to them are unlawful. Guevara replied that the DOJ has always made it a point to observe the rule of law. Trillanes is facing rebellion and coup d'etat charges before two Makati regional trial courts after President Rodrigo Duterte voided his amnesty granted by the previous administration. Meanwhile, De Lima is in detention on drug charges. Convicted ex-General Jovito Palparan has been transferred from the Army Custodial Center to the New Bilibid Prison. Army spokesperson Colonel Louis Villanueva said Palparan, along with retired Lieutenant Colonel Felipe Anotado and retired Staff Sergeant Eduardo Osorio, were turned over to the New Bilibid Prison Wednesday night. The transfer was ordered by the Malolos City Regional Trial Court Branch 15, which sentenced the three to life imprisonment for the kidnapping of two college students in 2006. Bureau of Corrections Director Ronald De La Rosa earlier said Palparan will stay at the NBP Reception and Diagnostic Center for 60 days for processing before being transferred to the maximum security compound. As the government intensifies military operations in the countryside, about 117 members of the CPP-NPA have surrendered to authorities in Cabanglasan, Bukidnon. The former terrorists met with military and LGU officials in a mass surrender ceremony. The surrenderers include members of the Militia ng Bayan and underground mass organizations of the CPP-NPA-NDF. They surrendered about 18 firearms and burned the CPP-NPA flag to symbolically denounce the movement. General Eric Binoya, commander of the 403rd Infantry Brigade and co-chairman of the Bukidnon Enhanced Comprehensive Local Integration Program Committee, said the surrenderers will receive cash and livelihood assistance, firearms remuneration, housing, health, and employment assistance. Still to come, the PNP says it has solved 13 out of the 18 cases of killings involving public officials this year. A top European telco company expresses interest to invest in the Philippine market. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues. The Philippine National Police says it has solved 13 out of 18 cases of killings involving local officials as of October 2nd. PNP spokesperson Benigno Durana explained that the 2 of 13 cases were cleared, which means suspects have been identified and are facing charges. These are the cases of 13 Martires City Vice Mayor Alex Lubigan, General Tino Mayor Ferdinand Bote. The cases are handled by the National Investigation Task Group, which monitors special investigation task groups. The group has 5 more cases that are under investigation, including the killing of Mayor Alexander Booking of Sudipen, La Union last Monday. Meanwhile, Durana noted an uptrend in killings of local officials as the election period approached. PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde has ordered police commanders to coordinate with local chief executives to set up countermeasures. Local business groups have welcomed the president's order to remove non-tariff barriers in importing rice and other agricultural products. The move is seen to protect manufacturers and consumers from rising food prices. More on this from Miguel Hill.
The country's most influential business groups jointly welcomed the issuance of Administrative Order Number 13, which seeks to curb the rising prices of food. The Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Philippine Exporters Confederation, and Philippine Food Processors and Exporters Confederation expressed optimism that AO 13 will help tame the increasing prices of agricultural products. Under the AO 13, President Rodrigo Duterte directed the removal of non-tariff barriers in importing agricultural products such as rice and sugar, which bumped food inflation in these past months. Local food processors already raised their concerns on the cost of refined sugar in the market, making them less competitive compared to other food processors in Southeast Asia who purchase sugar at 26 to 28 pesos per kilogram. The group said there are 4,000 to 5,000 domestic food processors in the country that are using sugar as ingredients in manufacturing their products. These processors cater to some 60 million consumers. Meanwhile, PhilExport President Sergio Ortiz Luis Jr. called on the government to allow the hassle-free importation of ethanol, a necessary additive to gasoline products derived from sugarcane. He said the current regulatory environment under the SRA forces oil firms to use locally produced ethanol, which is costlier. For the PNA Newsroom, I am Miguel Hill.
United Kingdom-based company Vodafone appears interested to explore the Philippine market as the government is laying the groundwork for the entry of a third telco player. Budget Secretary Benjamin Diokno said the meeting with the Vodafone executives were among the highlights of the Philippine economic team's trip to London last week. Among the questions asked by the new telco player executives are ownership rules, ease of doing business, and pending measures in Congress. The Department of Information and Communications Technology is scheduled to conduct an invitation to bid on October 7, while bidding documents can be bought on October 8. Deadline for the submission and opening of bids is on November 7. Diokno said it is premature to speculate if Vodafone will participate in the public bidding. He said the foreign telco company has a tie-up with one of the local players, but only on a small scale. The Chinese will help build the 1.5 billion peso Davao River Bridge Bukana project, one of the big-ticket projects planned by Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio. Mayor Duterte said once this pushes through, there will be 5 bridges that will cross the Davao River. The Davao River Bridge Bukana will be an 800 linear meter bridge that will connect the segment B of the Coastal Road project from Times Beach to Rojas Avenue. This will be a part of the Davao High Standard Highway Network, which includes the Davao City Bypass Road, the Davao City Expressway, and the Davao City Coastal Road. In an earlier interview, DPWH Regional Director Alan Borromeo said the Chinese government is interested in building the major bridge. Although the design is already complete, Borromeo said the project cannot be implemented yet because it still needs an official agreement between the Philippines and China. A group of divers and their partner stakeholders have begun the cleanup of an underwater diving spot in Nogas Island, Antique. The groups gathered for a whole day underwater and coastal cleanup in the popular diving spot in Anini Town. The initiative targeted abandoned fishing lines, plastic sachets, straws, shampoo, and bottled water strewn across the area. They will also start the reduction of colonies of the crown of thorns, a type of starfish that harms coral. The cleanup kicked off on September 21st to 22nd in partnership with the Jollibee Nogas Island Care for the Environment and the provincial government of Antique. During the cleanup, the divers were able to collect some 8 mesh bags of solid waste and crown of thorns. The cleanup drive will run for 6 months and will be done twice a month. Up next, the AFP warns against recruitment activities by the New People's Army in colleges and universities. Authorities in Indonesia monitor the eruption of Mount Soputan. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders. The Armed Forces of the Philippines reminds parents to beware of possible recruitment activities by the new People's Army in schools. AFP Deputy Chief of Staff Brigadier General Antonio Parlades says the CPP-NPA is actively recruiting in colleges and universities in Metro Manila. The NPA would hold martial law film showing where they would associate the Duterte administration with the Marcos regime and then influence viewers to join rallies against the government. Parlades says the school officials may not know about the communist campaign. PNP spokesperson Benigno Durana Jr. meanwhile said they are not surprised at the supposed NPA activity, though the PNP has no direct information of aggressive recruitment efforts in schools. Authorities in Indonesia have raised the alert status of Mount Soputan in southwest Minahasa District, North Sulawesi Province to level 3. The National Disaster Mitigation Agency warned residents not to carry out activities within the 4-kilometer radius of the volcano's peak. Residents living as far as 6 kilometers west and southwest of the volcano's peak were also told to avoid the possibility of a lava slide or hot cloud. Those living around the volcano should also prepare to wear masks in case of volcanic ash rain and stay on alert for the threat of lava flow. The volcano erupted on Wednesday morning and spewed a massive column of ash reaching heights of between 3,000 to 4,000 meters. On to a different kind of sport, the National Cheerleading Championship is back on its 14th season. This year's competition, themed We Are Fearless, was launched in Makati City. National Cheerleading Championship founder Carlos Valdez said the theme signifies the need for courage, resolve, and discipline in cheerleading. The country's top cheerleading competition will open with the South Luzon qualifiers at the Robinson's Place, Las Piñas City on Saturday. Qualifying competitions will also take place in North Luzon, Metro Manila, Visayas, and Mindanao. The highlights of the regionals will be aired on ESPN5, while the television network will air the nationals live from the Mall of Asia Arena in Pasay City. ESPN5 President Chot Reyes expressed the network's continued support for the vision to advance cheerleading as a sport. 3 students from Iloilo have joined the ranks of highly recognized artists in a top art and design competition. Their school has praised their rise from humble beginnings to world-class excellence. More on this from Maricor Zapata.
For the Iloilo Science and Technology University, or ISAT-U, art is not at all a strange thing. 3 students of the university won major prizes this year in the Metrobank Art and Design Excellence Competition. Professor Heinz Gumakil, University Public Information Officer, said 2 of this year's winners were graduates of ISAT-U, while the other one is a current student. The 2 graduates, Noel Elicana and Alex Ordoyo, were grand awardees for the oil acrylic on canvas category and for water media on paper, respectively. The current student, Roland Llanera, got a special citation for the oil acrylic on canvas category. Elicana is a graduate of the Bachelor of Science in Architecture. Ordoyo took up his Bachelor of Science in Industrial Technology, major in Architectural Drafting in 2006, and Master of Science in Industrial Education, major in Drafting Technology in 2017. Llanera is currently enrolled as a student of Bachelor of Science in Architecture. The grand awardees received 500,000 pesos financial assistance and a glass trophy designed by Noel El Farol, recipient of the Metrobank Prize for Achievement in Sculpture Award in 2009. Last year, architect Paul John Cabanalan, also a product of ISAT-U, was grand awardee of the same Metrobank Art Competition. ISAT-U President Dr. Raul Muyong said the remarkable feat of their students is a source of pride and inspiration not only for the school community, but for all Ilonggos as well. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Maricor Zapata.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Let's take another look at today's top stories. The House of Representatives approves the proposed 3.75 trillion peso national budget on second reading. Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara assures the DOJ will not be used as a weapon against the opposition. A top European telco company expresses interest to invest in the Philippine market. And the AFP warns against recruitment activities by the New People's Army in colleges and universities. Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And as we get into the fast-paced groove of modern life, remember to take things slow. It's never about the destination, but the sights we see along the way. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo. Good day.